So, Jarrett, in your career, starting out years ago in the tennis space, correct? And then kind of getting into pickleball, what have you seen as the biggest benefit for members at clubs when it comes to racket and paddle sports?
Yeah, it's a great question. Coming from the tennis background, I was one of the initial people 15 years ago that was like, I would never try pickleball. But when my courts, when we had hit a ceiling and there was nowhere to grow, and my wife dragged me to this park and I played pickleball for 2 hours and she had to drag me out because I loved it so much, I saw right then that this was the future. And there's no quick fix. You don't just start pickleball and you succeed. You don't put padel and you succeed. Like people register with your passion. So if you're not passionate about it and you don't really understand, you're not going to succeed with anything in life. It doesn't matter if you're a plumber, if you're a lawyer, if you're a doctor, like your passion grows. And so, for me, it's about the crossover rate. That's what I learned early on. At most clubs, on all clubs, there's an average crossover rate between racket sports of 30%. So if 100 people are playing pickleball, 30 of those will try tennis. We'll try the next logical racket sport. The highest clubs, like at Royal Oaks, we have an 84% crossover rate between the
Wow.
two sports, which is really why we've went from $1 million program to over 2.5 million. It's not about charging more, it's about getting more people on the courts. And so like that comes from the directors. It's not about teaching. Yeah, I don't want a tennis pro and a pickleball pro and then a padel pro. I want rackets pros that can show when you're on the court with tennis, be able to push the members and show them how pickleball can help their tennis. And if you're playing pickleball, well, this is a great entry point to tennis. And nothing shocked me more than and I never thought this would happen, but I remember when we built the pickleball courts at Royal Oaks, I never thought, I always knew golfers would come, but I never envisioned that on Sundays, and every Sunday here, you'll see the golf carts lined up at the pick all along the sidewalk. You'll see like 20 golf carts lined up. And it's all the guys that are before they golf, they come and play pickleball. And they'll play for, an hour, 2 hours, and they'll go get lunch and then they'll go golf. And I never thought I would see that. And it's become part of their own. And so like when I see USTA try to downplay the growth of pickleball by showing the growth of padel, padel's great and it's growing like crazy. But if you're to compare the two, the growth of pickleball is like leaving a faucet running at high speed. And the growth of padel is like keeping a faucet dripping. They're both growing, but there's no comparison in the rates, and there never will be. One's very expensive to grow, to play, to build, and one's very cheap. And what USTA should be celebrating is the fact if there's a 30% crossover rate and 50 million people are playing pickleball, that means 15 million people are going to come into tennis. If you're smart, that's how you market it. And when you look at the different sports, the next logical sport from pickleball that has somewhat of an inexpensive entry point, more money than pickleball, is tennis. And so for me, what I'd love to see is people understand those crossover rates and the value of actually investing in your staff to be rackets pros, that it will ultimately pay off for the clubs, it'll pay off for the industry, and it gives more opportunity to everybody.